I'm very happy to have Wayne from Penguin Finance joining me today. Welcome, Wayne.
Thanks, Liu, for inviting me to join this podcast, and it would be my pleasure to share all about Penguin Finance here with all the users here.
For sure. Yeah, it's going to be a fun chat. So, first, before we dive into Penguin Finance, I would love it if you could just give us a little background around yourself and working at Penguin.
Sure. So, I started my crypto journey on mid 2021, where the market is still in very bullish sentiment. So, in real life, my profession is not really related to finance. So I am actually working within the corporate real estate industry. So helping companies to manage a real estate portfolio. But somehow I got into cryptocurrency with the fact that back in the days, crypto.com do offers a lot of benefits to use their credit card. So I start to learn about what is cryptocurrency and what how it benefits us. So when I learned that I can I can own my I can make decision with my own assets by owning a wallet, a non-custodial wallet to interact with different DEX to earn something back. So I started to get into decentralized finance, and I did started a own local crypto community group in Hong Kong, and afterwards interact with a lot of different protocols on DeFi, and at last I was getting involved in business development for Penguin Finance.
Nice. I'm just curious, what is the crypto scene like in Hong Kong?
Um, Currently, you know, there the proactive movement from the government do attract a lot of different professions from different countries, especially from mainland China. Originally, mainland China are not an advocate for cryptocurrency development, but now since Hong Kong is trying to promote Web3 and trying to promote Hong Kong as the hub of cryptocurrency trading. So it attracts a lot of talents from the mainland China and as well as from the Southeast Asia region to come over to Hong Kong to set up their company and to start some brand new protocol which is based in Hong Kong. And apart from that, it also attract a lot of different VCs to join different kind of Web3 events that is hosted by no matter it is by the government or by the different crypto organizations. um, they do attract a lot of investors. They are trying to invest into some of the projects that is brand new, that is maybe some of them can also apply for grants from the government itself as well. And another
That's
part.
interesting. So,
Yeah.
so during like this period where it seems like the US is being quite hostile towards crypto projects, you're saying that in Hong Kong, actually, there's a real proactive move towards creating sort of a regulatory environment where
Yes,
crypto
yes,
companies can thrive.
yes. And
That's good
as
to hear.
and they are also attracting centralized exchange to get a license to operate legally in Hong Kong.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's very positive to hear. I mean, actually, to be quite honest, I don't have so many projects or guests on from the Asian region, so it's pretty cool to hear a bit of up to date details on how crypto is going over there. Um, with your background in mind, as you said, towards the end of your crypto journey, you picked up a position at Penguin Finance in BD. So, could you share with the guests what is Penguin Finance?
Sure. So Penguin Finance, the platform itself is a bonding platform, like a bonding protocol. Um, it was launched on 25th of November 2021. So we have been around the Solana space for around 1.5 years. So the platform itself provides all projects on Solana to fundraising in terms of protocol owned liquidity, by using bonding. So it's a mechanism that a user can sell their LP tokens into bond market in exchange for some discount payout tokens, which at a future date, which you need to wait for 7 days to get back all the tokens that you purchase from the bond market. So from the protocol point of view, what you can get is the LP token that the user use to buy your bonds, your treasury bills. So the LP token that you get would be protocol owned liquidity. So it will be forever sit on your treasury wallet. And through time, your liquidity can build up bit by bit, and your liquidity can be thicker and thicker. So we think that this kind of liquidity accumulation method is more healthy than typical liquidity farming protocol, because on liquidity farming you pay out your incentive, but you are only renting all those liquidity. You are borrowing liquidity from those users. The user can withdraw the liquidity at any time. Maybe the market turns bad, they will withdraw the liquidity and dump all the tokens. So it could
like
be
regular listeners will recall we had Lifinity on some time ago, and I believe they also have some mechanism for protocol. I mean, they own their liquidity in their AMM, so I believe they also use bonding.
Yeah, Lifinity. I'm not quite familiar with Lifinity, but I heard that they are kind of like a centralized liquidity protocol, right?
Yeah, they're like a liquidity provider, and I believe they own their liquidity, and I believe they use a protocol-owned liquidity mechanism with the Lifinity token. But
Okay.
users can check that up. So one question I have with the bonding mechanism is, so like people may have heard of protocol-owned liquidity from the Ohm DeFi 2.0 meme that was really popular, I believe, about a year ago. And on Solana, we had
Yeah.
what was the one on Solana with the bird, the owl? I'm blanking.
The owl.
They did sunset. They did sunset that protocol though. I'm blanking on the name. Regular listeners will probably have it on the tip of their tongue, but so protocol owned liquidity in general was a very cool mechanism where users can provide like Sol or USDC in, and then they receive, as you said, a discount on what they're providing. But one question I have is like, how do you facilitate the discount? Like how do you, without having a token, how do you facilitate the discount?
The discount itself is it's like a decay mechanism, and the token sale is not from our protocol. It's from other protocol who set up a
Mm-hmm.
bonding pool on the platform itself. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
if you have heard about Pot Finance, it's a money market on Solana. So
Yep.
they did have a bonding market before for a long time, but they stopped now. So let's say they have a $1,000 sales target per week. Then then the method that the discount run is when there is no one buying the bond price will decay from the
Mm-hmm.
market price itself, and then it will give you like 1% or 2% discount. And when there are any user who thinks they are more profitable purchasing the bond instead of buying pot tokens from the market with a 2% discount, then they will provide the LP token. Usually the LP token is USDC and pot token, and then they buy some pot token and then use some USDC to pair it up with the pot token, and then use the LP to purchase the bond, the pot bond. So they will be benefited in a way that they can get a 2% discount, but they will be needing to wait for 7 days to get back all the tokens that they purchased from the bond itself. But the vesting schedule is linear vesting schedule, so you can claim half of it during in the middle of the vesting period.
So would it be fair to say that it's almost like receiving a staked reward on like a locked LP for a period? Because in getting the discount, you're essentially
Yeah.
getting paid.
You are foregoing the LP that you supply. What you get back is, let's say you provide $10 of LP. If you have 2% discount at the moment that you purchase the bond, then what you got 7 days afterwards, it is $12 worth of that payout token. So this is how it works. Of course, we do recommend that protocol who use bonding market to give good utility for their native token itself. So this can make it sustainable. After all, you need some utility to attract people to keep holding your token, right?
For sure.
But
speaking of creating tokens, I'm aware that there's another feature on Penguin which is token minting. Could you share a couple words about that?
Oh yes, this is for the partner protocol who launched a bonding pool to exchange their token into vested version. So it's only for those who launch a bonding pool, and then they need to because they need to sell their bond. The sale of the bond will be usually their native token. So they put their native token into that token minting thing, and they will exchange them into a vested version token, and then they put it into the bonding pool as a payout token. And what the user can get is the vested version token after they purchase the bond, and they can start vesting after they purchase the bond for 7 days. So this, and then in exchange for the native token, the payout token. Yeah.
Got you. And you guys also have an airdrop distributor, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. So this is an open source airdrop distributor, so everyone can easily deploy it. What you only need is to list of address and the amount of airdrop that you want to distribute to those address, and then it is you can put it onto a JSON file or Excel file and then upload on it and deposit the token, and that's it. Then user can claim the airdrops or claim the rewards that you provide and the airdrop itself is also kind of a better version than the Saber macro distributor, because we kind of user only need to pay a one-time ATA account fee, and for the next executive airdrop or rewards distributing, they would not need to pay it again. But if you are using the Saber macro distributor, every time the user wants to claim the airdrop, they need to pay a one-time ATA fees.
Got you. Okay, so it's cheaper to use in that sense.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And the last one, which you only alerted to me to prior to the show, was the NFT collection for Penguin Art.
Yes. So the NFT collection is a recreation of some famous art pieces, and we try to we turn it into penguins for that famous art piece. So all of them are one of one, and all of them are hand drawn by artists. So and all of them are not for sale as well. They are only rewards to some loyal communities, and also we are also rewarding them during our the events with our partners, something like AMA or some giveaways during some special festival, something like that. So by holding an NFT itself, it also gives you a unique identity within the Web3 space, and as well you are also eligible for airdrops. So we have conducted around 4 to 5 airdrops in terms of token airdrops. So every time that some protocol launch a bonding pool on the bonding market, usually we ask them whether to airdrop some to our Penguin Art NFT holders. They usually give us some tokens for us to airdrops, since we don't charge any fees
Mm,
for them to launch a bonding pool. So we just distribute it equally to all
got
Penguin
you.
Art NFT holders. And so we do have some NFT giveaways from our partner protocol as well, apart from the token airdrops. I think 3 to 4 of them.
Got you. Okay, so it sounds like the core piece is the bonding, and then the other tools kind of support that core
Yes.
product. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, right on. And looking forward for Penguin Finance, are there some things you guys are working on, around that bonding piece, or other areas that you're sort of looking to develop the protocol?
Yeah. About the short term plan, we'll be focusing more on getting more partners to launch a bonding pool on our platform. We don't charge any fees because we are trying to boost our use case and try to boost liquidity within our own ecosystem. And apart from that, we are also partnering up with Parafinance, one of our early partners and supporters. And we are having a grant program that in case you are launching a bonding pool using their stablecoin Pi as a liquidity pair, then they will be buying back 25% of what you sell on the bonding market. So essentially, you are getting 25% off for the token that you sell on the bonding market. And since if you are selling your native token on the bonding market, it is not really costing you anything. So if you are pairing up with Pi, then they are market buying back 25% of what you sell. So it is something for free. And apart from that, apart from the short term goal, which is the most important thing that we uh we currently need, which need partners. For the long term goal, we are still considering to expand our ecosystem as well. In case there is any other Solana since another environment which is similar to Solana, we can consider to expand into those ecosystem as well. And yes, and about the our Penguin Finance token, we currently don't have any plans to launch any, since we could not write out a sustainable use case for our own token. We want our protocol to be self-sustainable before we launch any governance token or revenue sharing tokens. We don't
Got
want
you.
to kind of launch a rubbish token and then just pump and dump. This is not what we want. So currently we
That's
focus on
a
getting
I
more
noticed that's a general trend in Solana that a lot of teams are very hesitant to launch tokens.
Yes, because
And
of the market environment, with
mm,
especially within the Solana ecosystem, we currently
mm,
don't have a lot of newly 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 joined liquidity. Uh, we are
yeah, got
losing
you.
liquidity at the moment.
And so speaking about that, I think that segues us nicely into, what kind of difficulties are you guys facing, and are there some difficulties you'd identify as being generic across the DeFi space on Solana?
Yes, I think the most difficult part for us is it's very hard for us to find a partners. So I myself has been actively reaching out every protocols, no matter it's small or big. For the big ones, they usually just give you an email, and then you can shoot them a proposal, and they never come back to you. And for the big ones, I also don't see a lot of usage from. I don't see their BD team are very busy, but I'm not sure why they don't even bother to reply for an email, or just, just set up a chat. I can explain more about what is bonding and how bonding can benefit their own native tokens. And I don't think any of the big project on Solana is having a very good price action on their native tokens with their current liquidity farming programs. So it's very hard to get partnership. What we can get is some small partners, and they are very friendly. To be honest, they are very supportive as well. But they also face the same kind of difficulty, which you mentioned. They could not launch their token in this environment. So even we partner up with each other, even we have a very good chat with each other, we still can't launch anything to get the user to to interact with both of our protocols, because we could not launch our token, and they could not also write out a business use case to attract people to buy the tokens or to do IDOs in an ethical way. So this is the most pressing difficulties that we are facing within the Solana ecosystem. The second part, of course, is about the users. What we can see, there is a trend where the users are really declining within the Solana DeFi ecosystem. I don't comment on the NFT space, because I think the NFT space is doing very, very good, very well. Within we have Magic Eden, which is accumulating some points. Maybe in the future they do some airdrops, and we also have different AMM NFT markets, which is kind of developing, and a lot of people are using them. So but for DeFi side, I think what we can observe is there are less and less people interacting with within our Discord. And if the worst part is, if your protocol don't have your own governance token or don't have your own native token, they simply don't just come back to the Discord to check what kind of updates that you've got, because they don't have any obligations, and they don't invest a single penny on your protocol, so they don't have any obligations to come back. So the activity drops even lower when you compare to those who have a governance token, which people sometimes ask any updates about the protocol, any new developments, something like that. That would be at least some people interacting with the community itself. But for us, it's like ever declining interactions. So this is the hardest part for us to find a way out to boost our use case, and to boost to attract protocol to come over to our bonding market to launch some pools, because we also could not show that we have a very strong community at the moment. We once have
Got
it,
you.
but not now.
Yeah, got you. I mean, that's something that we've identified at Streamflow as well. Like particularly on Solana, there's just been a lack of token launches in the last, basically since FTX imploded. So yeah, hard to see how it'll play out in the future. I personally feel very optimistic about some of the teams building in Solana currently in DeFi. You've got Margin, Drift, some of these teams which I think are doing a great job, and I'm hoping to see them launching tokens and getting more liquidity onboarded into the DeFi ecosystem, which would help all the teams. Moving on here, and I think this also dovetails nicely with my next question, which is like, where do you see a 0 to 1 moment for crypto in the future? Like we've noticed with ChatGPT, the adoption has been extremely rapid, with people finding many different use cases for it. And yet still with crypto, it feels like after, whatever it is, 10, 15 years, there's really limited number of like killer use cases so far. Do you have any intuition moving forward about like what kind of big onboarding event might cause that adoption?
Mm. That's a very good question, and there's a lot of different discussion about this question as well within the crypto community. So my thoughts would be, when when the government keeps printing out money, and when your fiat currency keeps inflating, that would be given a very good use case for people to to swap some of their fiat currency in cryptocurrencies, to sustain their purchasing power. This is some kind of very traditional thought of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is kind
Mm,
of having a limited supply, kind of having expectation that will somehow reach a maximum supply, and as it get more scale, the price will drive up and preserve your purchasing power. This is
mm,
somehow um, always a number one point that people focuses on when you're talking about the real adoption of cryptocurrency. And if you want people to treat it as a medium of trade, like a widely medium of trade, you first need all the people to believe that Bitcoin or Ethereum or even Solana is a good asset to be treated as a store of value. So
mm,
I think we are gaining more attention, gaining more different public attention from various media coverage on the cryptocurrency itself, and more institutional investment on the space itself. But this is something that we can look into when fiat currency lost its status. Then that would be um, a non-custodial moment of time where you people will rush to create their own wallet and transfer their asset to their wallet, to have their say about how their assets being used. And another critical thing is the downfall of the banking industry. We all know that there are a lot of people don't understand how a bank works, and they never consider bank run as a risk, since they think that the bank is well protected by the government, and their deposit won't lose when they just put the money in the banks. But they never have someone to tell them, or they never have knowledge that most of their asset that they put on bank is loaned out. And let's say in Hong Kong, more than 80% of the asset is actually loaned out. It's not actually in the bank vault itself.
mm, mm.
So the
Yeah.
utilization rate is very high. And when they have some time to look into Aave or Solana or whatever, when they compare to the interest rate that they got from their bank, with that utilization rate, then they would get to know the bank is lying to them. If they are used,
Mm,
if Aave or Solana is having an 80% utilization ratio, what APR you got is not something like 4 or 5. It could be 8 or 10, because assets are borrowed out, then borrowers usually need to pay out more with the normal setting, or for Aave or Solana, or for any other money market protocols. So the bank is actually lying to most of depositors. They are getting a lot of commission in between the borrowing and lending parity. But for money market on decentralized finance, it is on the blockchain, which is 100% transparent, and as well they are transparent to all those rates, the borrow rates and the
mm,
supply lending rates, and they could not lie to you, and it is more safe in case there's no exploit, no flash loan, no, no hack
Mm,
or no rug
mm,
pull. In case those other factors are clear out, then it is really more safe for you to put money on Aave or on Solana than putting your money on the deposit account in the bank, because the utilization rate is much lower when you compare to banks.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you have a product like I think Meteora does this, where they bounce the lending between wherever the yield is best,
Yeah,
which is a
yeah.
product that would be very difficult to do in the traditional finance world. So moving on to the last topic for the day, and something that I've had requested from quite a few listeners is to have some resources for new people that are coming into crypto. And so I'm curious on your side, what are there three resources that you could recommend to newcomers to crypto, to Solana, even that they can learn about, a good, helpful, honest resource that can help them onboarding into crypto, and that can be like a book or articles, videos.
Yes. The first thing that I think for newcomers to get to know the how to use their wallet, or how to interact with DEX or money market on the Solana DeFi space would be, YouTube. YouTube would be a good resources for videos, for intros about how to set up a wallet, how to interact with Radium, how to interact with Penguin Finance. I did some videos as well to teach people about how to interact with Penguin Finance, and how to bond. So this is somehow kind of very handy for newcomers, because they can always refer to the video when they got some ripples in the middle, when they are setting up their wallets, or when they are trying to interact with different decentralized application on the network itself. So the first thing is YouTube, and they can pick any popular videos. I think somehow it is already very popular, and a lot of different resources available on the YouTube side. And afterwards, you need to pick a right community to join.
Mm,
Remember not to rely very much on those community is uh, which is which is built for protocols. You should find some crypto communities which is independent, like a local community group which discuss
mm-hmm,
about cryptocurrencies, or a local community group which focus on Solana. Let's say for Solana, for Chinese community, we do have a Taiwan Solana group, which basically all of those people who are in the Telegram chat are independent, and also a Solana users, which they are more than happy to help you when you face any difficulties, or when you need advice on certain things. They usually give you a independent view or independent support to guide
mm-hmm,
you through your difficulties when you are interacting, or when you're asking, oh, why my wallet got a new NFT which called Radium
mm,
Incentive Funds. What is that? They can tell you that it's a scam. You should burn it to exchange for some little soul. This is
yeah.
something that you can. The second thing that you need to do is to really join a community. But how you can find that community, I think it is somehow kind of depending on which location you came from. I usually think
Mm,
that in each location they do have their own local community for specific blockchain, and those Telegram group or Discord group would be quite quite helpful for you to do something right on the blockchain, or do on DeFi applications. And you can always ask a second opinion before you do anything.
got you.
So yeah, this is the second thing, which is I think it's the most important thing, because you always want some discussion, or always want a second thought. You don't want to fight alone. And the third thing, after you got after you got the community group from Telegram or Discord, and after you learn the basics from YouTube, and the third thing would be the documentations for the protocol that you want to interact with. You can tell whether a protocol is legit or a scam by looking at their documents. When you see a very complicated documents, a lot of different pages, then you should copy and paste and search on ChatGPT or Google to see whether the documentation are copy and paste or not. If they are copy and paste, then it is most probably not a decentralized application that you want to interact with. And if it is super short and don't have any audit reports, and don't have any details about what they are doing, and any safety measure that they took, or where their source code is forked from, and that would be quite risky, and you may encounter some exploit or even rug pulls from that protocol itself. So remember, don't just get attracted by the user interface. Don't just get attracted by the front end, or don't just get attached by the hype. You should always do your own research. You should always go to their documentations and even go to their Discord community or Telegram community to see whether the team is always around the community, or the team is just doing their own work and they never answer the community. They just rely on those moderators to taking care of inquiries. Usually, a team that don't care about community usually would dump the token that you purchase after you purchase that token. That's my observations.
That's your experience.
Yeah, because if a team cares the user a lot, they would always appear in the chat room and to talk about, especially those BD guy or those marketing guy. They will also pop into the chat room and to chat with the community, or to handle things together with the community. Like, let's say Trader Joe, that the marketing lead is very active in the community, and they do get a very good success. So this is something that newcomers can look into.
For sure. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, then it's been a fun chat to go over sort of and get a sense of the DeFi environment. For folks who want to check out Penguin Finance, where can they find you guys on Twitter?
Of course, I can share the link afterwards. You can find the link maybe in the description of the podcast.
Yep.
And if you could not find the link, you can also just search PNGFI from Twitter, and then you can find our Twitter account, which is called Penguin Finance. And we also have a Linktree link on the Twitter description as well. So you can click on the Linktree link, and then you can find all the related websites or medium sites that has a lot of different articles about our platform.
Perfect. Then, yeah, again, Wayne, thanks so much for coming on and sharing about Penguin Finance and sparing some time for us. Much appreciated.
Thanks for inviting me as well. I really appreciate, for the time for us to kind of promoting our protocol and, speaking our difficulties within the space now. Thank you for the opportunities.